So during the time that we are together here today, we want to help you to understand, accept, and really enjoy remembering that you are more than the physical body that you know as you, that there is another part of you that is viable and alive and vibrational. We want you to understand that you have the glorious experience of sifting through variety for the purpose of coming to new conclusions about how your life would be better. And when that happens, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, you then have the option of aligning with what you're asking for, or of continuing to align with the reason that you ask. If you ask for an improved condition, but you keep beating the drum of the reason that you want the improved condition, you hold yourself vibrationally apart from what you've asked for. So we've been talking to you for a while, and some of you have been listening to us for a while about this powerful law of attraction, which in very simple terms says you get what you think about. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself vibrationally is drawn to it. It's like radio signals. When you set your tuner at 98.7 FM, you hear from that broadcasting station. You don't hear from another broadcasting station. So when you set your tuner at I'm in a bad mood because this bad thing has happened, you've set a tuner that makes it only possible for law of attraction to yield to you things that match that. So we've then been explaining to you that that's not a bad thing, because knowing what you don't want causes you to know what you do want. An equivalent bounce to that wave then occurs. In other words, when you really know what you don't want, you really know what you do want. But the thing that we want to remind you of is, when you really know what you don't want and really know what you don't want, and therefore there is a part of you that now really knows what you do want, if you've been beating the drum of really knowing what you don't want, you've trained yourself into that frequency, and it's not easy for you to let go of it and begin thinking about what you do want. But the larger part of you is only thinking about what you do want. So why are we talking to you? Well, you've summoned us, but what's this all about? What is this knowledge that we are helping you to remember or find resonance with? What's its value to you? Why is it of advantage for you to understand that you are the creator of your own reality? Why is it of advantage for you to recognize that there are two vibrational aspects of you going on in every moment that you are focused in this physical body? Why is it important for you to know that these two aspects exist, and that there is an emotional bond between them that lets you know how aligned you are with what you have created and its furthest extension, or how resistant you are to it? Well, it's not important in the sense that the longevity of your planet is at stake, because it isn't. Well-being is assured. It's not important if you are thinking in terms of even your reemerging in the non-physical and you're understanding who you are and fulfilling your reason for being, because as you bang around in this physical life experience, you are becoming, and in what you call your death experience, we call it your croaking experience. We try to be disrespectful since there is no death. When you reemerge back into non-physical, you catch up with all that this life has added to who you are. In other words, you catch up with all that you are. So there's no big thing that is at risk if you, as this small cluster of people, or even mass consciousness, doesn't hear this, because the whole thing is so well established. You are source energy, and you are coming forward, and you are adding to the expansion of the universe because of being here in this physical body. And the larger part of you is expanding, and you will feel the utter satisfaction of all of that when you have your entrance or withdrawal from the physical back into the non-physical. You'll feel all of that satisfaction. The reason that we are visiting with you now is we don't think you should have to croak to find that satisfaction. We think you should be able to be here in this physical body and understand the wholeness of who you are. And we think that you are wise enough to tune yourself to the wholest part of who you are. We think that you should be able to be here in a physical body, explore the details, know what you don't want, know what you do want, and use your emotions to keep you tuned to the furthest expanded version of who you are. Because we know this for sure. When you don't feel good. So you can't hold your expansion back. It's a byproduct of life. You cannot hold your expansion back, but you can lazily or sloppily tune yourself out of alignment with that. And when you do, you feel crummy. When you do, you get sick. When you do, you don't like life. When you do, you feel fear, you feel hate, you feel anger. You feel all of those things that are just emotional indicators or physical manifestational indicators of thinking by default, really. Just thinking because it's in front of you. It'd be like sitting in front of your television and there's a program on and someone comes in and says, what is it? And you say, I don't know, but it's really miserable. And they say, why don't you change the channel? And you say, what? I never change the channel. I just come into the room and I sit down and I watch what's there. And then I comment on it. Just letting you know, this particular thing is really awful. We're not kidding. That's mostly what you do. You read the front page of the newspaper and you have a knee-jerk response to it. And you watch CNN and you have a knee-jerk response to it. And your kids call or your neighbors do something and you just look around and you respond. You just observe and respond and observe and respond and observe and respond. The good news is every time you observe and respond, you launch a rocket of improvement. But if you don't do something about then tuning yourself to the improvement, then what happens is your life gets away from you. That's why the longer people live in their bodies, the ornerier and the sicker they usually get. Because life kept causing them to expand, but they didn't go. They just kept watching the same channel. They just kept observing and commenting on what they were observing. So this Art of Allowing workshop, this is about the art of allowing what? The art of allowing me in my physical human body, with my physical mind, with my physical ability to focus, is about me using my ability to focus myself into alignment with the furthest that I've become. And that is where true satisfaction comes from. Moment to moment to moment satisfaction. Nothing is more delicious than to explore life and know what you don't want and know what you do want, and then recognize that you've expanded. You can tell because you feel uneasy. You've expanded to a new place, but you've got chronic habits of thought that aren't letting you go there.